Hi, my name is Mama Alif Irfan bin Razak. Today I want to talk about the introduction. Employment is a term that refers to people who are employable and who are pursue a job, cannot find a job. Generally calculated by the rate of employment, which divide the number of employment by the total number of people in the workforce. In Malaysia, there are three major types of employment. First, cyclical, structural, and frictional. Cyclical employment is due to the phase of the business cycle contraction. That's when demand for service and goods drop dramatically. It forced companies to lay off large number of workers in order to cut costs. Frictional employment occurs when workers leave their old job but not yet found new one. Most of the time, workers leave voluntarily, either because they need to move or because they have saved money to seek a better job. And lastly, structural employment occurs when economic change generates a gap between the skill worker have and the skill employer need. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Aidil bin Yaakub. My matric number is A1AA0319. So I'm going to explain about the background of the country. First of all, unemployment is the situation where the labor force without a job but they actively seeking for a job. They're willing to work but they cannot find the suitable jobs at certain level of wage rate. Okay, so for Malaysia, since 2001 and until 2004, the unemployment rate increased steadily, around 3.4 and 3.0 until 3.4%. It is because of the worldwide crisis that brings the economy downturn, such as the incident where the US World Trade Center was attacked by the terrorists. So US, as the largest importer around the world, tend to affect Malaysia, since Malaysia export a lot of product to the US. So when the US import decrease, then the Malaysian export also decreases. So when the incident like this always happen, Malaysia government finally implement policy to strengthen the internal economy, which is called as the domestic economy. So some policies that were introduced are the monetary policy and also the fiscal policy. Government introduced this policy in order to stimulate the economy internally. So, and then Malaysia economy shows an increasing trend and growth through the Malaysian leading index and the ratio of the coincident index to lagging index in 2007. But however, during the newest incident, which is the COVID-19, which is affect all over the world, Malaysia also record the highest unemployment rate, which is 5%, because of the movement restriction order. Government have set the law to close the operation for most of the businesses during the MCO. So a lot of workers have been dismissed when the business can no longer pay the salary to the workers because of the decreases in the business sale. So the number of unemployment rise 48.8% to a record high of 778.8 thousand, while employment dropped 1% to 14.93 million. So this is the latest inflation rate and the highest that ever recorded in Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Ahmad Zakuan bin Shaffie. My number matric is A18A0027. Okay, I will presenting the Malaysia unemployment condition for the past 10 years. This chart show Malaysia unemployment rate from 2010 to 2019. This statistic show the unemployment rate in Malaysia from 2010 to 2019. In 2019, the unemployment rate in Malaysia was at approximately 3.4%. Malaysia unemployment is moderately low and stable at around 3%, which implies the populace in encountering new full business. The country arrived at its most reduced degree of unemployment in 2014, with a rate at 2.85%. Malaysia dynamic economy is viewed as one of the most grounded in Southeast Asia, along with long stretch of political stability. It has been supporting such a low unemployment rate and great development rate every year. Industry has been a solid supporter of GDP and at present give around 30% of work opening. In any case, considerably more around 50% of GDP is produced by the administration area. Given the nation's solid and developing economy, normal GDP capita is developing at expanding rate also. Be that it may, in spite of this constructive measurement, new report expressed that the quantity of employment structure and thus jobless are commonly youngster, both graduate and non-graduate, who experience issue entering the job market. Along this line, the Malaysia government is urging organization to open up work opening explicitly to young full grow up. The good financial atmosphere should help.
Hello, my name is Nur Afiqah binti Abu Thalib. For this part is about impact and effect and employment for the economy. The first impact and employment in the economy is reducing the country income. When the unemployment rate increase, the income or business benefits will be decreased. This will be decreased for a total of income tax and profit tax payable by the government. So, the country's income also will be decreased and indirect unemployment has led to the income tax collection is decreased. Second impact and effect unemployment to the economy is the low standard of living. The standard of living of a country is measured by the income per capita. If unemployment level increase, the GDP will be decreased and income per capita will decrease. When income per capita decrease, the standard of living can also decrease. Next, unemployment can give impact to the economy, such as can be delay development in Malaysia. When the country's income will lower, the government cannot provide the various infrastructure facility necessary to generate economic growth. So the expenditure has to be reduced and we slow down Malaysia's development process. It also the high unemployment has made the economy unable to operate at its highest level. One of the impacts to the economy is the output produced is less than potential output. If the higher unemployment rate, the output produced from some sectors of the economy will decline, and as a result, Malaysia's output also declines. Unemployment does not encourage economic growth. High unemployment will affect the performance of economic growth. The waste of production resources leads to lower output produced than potential output. Further, lastly, the impact and effect of unemployment to the economy is to increase the poverty rate. That is because the higher of unemployment rate, it will raise the poverty rate in the country. The government had to plan some of programs to overcome the problem of poverty. This will undermine the government's efforts to develop Malaysia.
Hello, salam sejahtera to our lecturer, Madam Nur Haiza, and have a nice day. My name is Chert anak lelaki Lam. My metric number is A1880100. So in this context, I want to give some briefly about economy policy that can solve young unemployment issue in Malaysia. First, policy fiscal policy. It can decrease unemployment with helping to increase aggregate demand and the rate of economy growth. Government will need to pursue expansionary fiscal policy, which is cutting tax and government spending. Second policy that we can use to solve young unemployment in Malaysia is exploring skill and education to young. So the alternative to solve this is to give a long-term unemployment new skill that needed by industry, which is retrain unemployment skilled worker to have a basic IT and communication skill that will help them to find work in the service sector. Third is a special committee to reduce the problem of unemployment reduce. A special committee to address the problem of unemployment and low wages among the country's young has been set up by Young and Sport Ministry Saidin Abdul Rahman. He said that this special committee will create 10,000 of jobs opportunities in the country. So the last policy that can reduce young unemployment in Malaysia is monetary policy. It is because monetary policy can involve for cutting interest rate. Lower rate on interest rate can decrease the cost of borrowing and encourage people to spend and invest. This increase aggregate demand and should also help to increase GDP and reduce demand deficient unemployment.
How does government or other respective institutions play their role in order to sustain the economy? First, close the gap of labour supply and demand. Strong reskilling system will be in place to help retrain unemployed students who are now stuck with the effects of the supply and demand gap. A person needs more valuable skills in order to earn more, hence government upskilling and lifelong learning programs and incentives must be strategic and aggressive to catalyze the upward movement of labour skills, subsequently and paychecks. In addition, technical and vocational education and training should be rebranded as an attractive pathway for secondary school leavers, just as it in countries such as Germany. Secondly, Partnering employers and universities to enhance graduate employability. Talents Corps initiative in the area of graduate employability aim to achieve three main objectives, which are increase awareness, provide exposure, and increase the employability of graduates. These programs work hand in hand with employers and universities. Graduates should have a positive attitude towards work and the environment, innovative and creative. Students should also be given the opportunity to face the obstacles and take chance to succeed. Cooperation between colleges and understanding employer objectives and demands, being able to work independently and produce quality workers is also an industrial use. One of the actions to reduce graduate unemployment is by fostering a favorable atmosphere among graduates to grow entrepreneurship so less graduates will be looking for paid jobs.